Hi, I am Rubin Bhandari, and I'm here to present my internship work experience with Winslow Constructor, and Dr. Sarkar Noor Ekuda is my unit coordinator. In my presentation, I'll be covering all of these topics, and I'll be describing them briefly also. Moving forward, I was placed under Winslow Constructor, which is officially located at 50 Barry Road, Campbellfield, Victoria 3061. It is one of the leading civil construction subcontractor company working for about 30 years in various civil areas. I was I was supervised by Mr. Dan Hong, who is the site engineer at Winslow Constructors for more than 2 years. During my internship, I was assigned to work for Licks Road Project Package 04, located at Truganina, Victoria 3029, for 12 weeks, starting from 18th of March 2020 and ending on 5th of June 2020. So talking about the various nature of the work of my host company, it has worked on various projects, and some of the list of the completed projects are Tarnet Road duplication, Armstrong Road, Morris and the Licks Road intersection, Calder Freeway, and Moranda Village Estates. While some of the ongoing projects are Doherty Road Project Package 05, Palmas Road Project Package 02, and Licks Road Project Package 04. Figure 1 represents the ongoing projects under Winslow Constructors. Figure 2 represents the organizational structure of my host company. I was working as an engineering cadet under Chris Ikonomu, who was the project engineer for central zone for the Leaks Road project, and William Lee was my project manager. Uh, these are the list of the duties that I used to do during my internship placement. Some of the important tasks that I used to do was assisting in completing the daily pre-start meet, assisting in creating the permits of the works and permit revalidation and renewal. Also assist my supervisor during opening and closing lots through control. The most important task was site inspection with the nominated authorities, and also developing an understanding of the different drawings and the asset protection plan. Uh, moving forward, I got a good opportunity to implement my theoretical knowledge into practical. I was familiarized with the big road set of rules and the standards, but I got opportunity to implement this in the field through during my internship work experience. um, I used to visit with the nominated authorities, nominated authorities, so as to ensure the thickness, depth, cover, and the materials used are as per specifications. Figure 5 represents the measuring the depth of the electrical conduit trench, which should be minimum 800 millimeter according to the Victorian set of the rules. Again, also I had a good knowledge on Microsoft Office, which I demonstrated by preparing the daily cost entry record as in figure 4. And also I was involved in various tasks like computation tasks, estimation tasks, and permit issuing tasks. During my internship, I was totally involved in in all of the activities that was happening in my site. I was involved in inspection with the nominated authority to ensure the works are done as per the standards. Also, I attending the daily pre-start meeting and attending the formats and the engineers meeting in the afternoon was very useful for me to had knowledge about the current and the upcoming plans and the schedules. Also, I used to get notified about every tasks and steps that are going in my site through Outlook mails and mobile text, which are the professional way of communication. Also, during my internship, I gained knowledge on various engineering tools and software. Control was the most important software that I used for opening and closing lots, which is demonstrated in Figure 8. Also, knowledge on various software like Teambinder, Civil Law, and Bluebeam was very useful. Similarly, knowledge on various engineering tools like dust tracking machine to find the mass concentration level, propose cover meter to ensure the spacing and the reinforcement of the bridge equipment, and also GPS rover meter for locating the services located underneath the ground was will be useful for my future useful for my for developing my professional career. Uh, Moving forward, I was involved in various computational activities. By using civil law, I calculated the work area, work area, then multiplied that area by the thickness as per the big road standards to obtain the volume of the concrete required to fill that area. Again, number of the backfill layer calculation and the number of the test required calculation for the drainage, underground drainage was another important computational activities. Also also Bluebeam, also I used Bluebeam to calculate the area of the verge and the median for landscaping purpose. Again, every task that we do in our site was done according to the Victor standards and the regulations. Tasks like line marking, concrete slump test, construction of the concrete curbs and the channels, and application of the asphalt mix. They has their own defined standards, and those standards are to be followed to while performing the tasks. Again, at last, the checklists are prepared for ensuring that all the works are done as per standards and are to be signed by the nominated authority and also the site engineers. Again, every task that we do in the site are to be safe also. So to ensure that all the tasks are to be done following the Occupational Health and the Safety Regulation Act 2017, and to ensure it, a health and safety engineer is appointed in Winslow Constructor. Again, use of the personal protective equipment PPE is the most important thing before entering to the site, and the procedures for using the PPE are demonstrated on figure 14. Again, use of the NDD truck for excavation and also for locating the services lying underneath the ground is a very eco-friendly approach, as it doesn't harm any environmental aspect, and also um, uh, and also helps in existing and also doesn't harms any existing services that are lying underneath the ground. Moving forward, there are various legislative and the statutory requirements that are to be fulfilled. A fresh or new employee is always to be site inducted so that he can have knowledge about the work nature, safety procedures, and the goals of the company and the project. Again, various policies like workplace bullying policy, environmental policies, and sex harassment policy are to be implemented. Again, figure 17 demonstrate the various policies that are to be followed by the Winslow constructor during performing any tasks. Again, there are various subcontractor documents that are to be verified from the big road authority, so that so as to ensure that the tasks done are legal. And again, every task again, a permit is to be issued for before initiating every task in the site. So it was a good experience for me to work with the Winslow constructor and develop my professional experience. It was a great opportunity for me to implement my theoretical knowledge into practical and also become familiar with the Australian standards, codes, legislative requirements. During my internship experience, I developed a good interpersonal teamwork, leadership, and the time management skill, and also a good knowledge on engineering tools like scope carbometer, GPS robot, dust tracker was obtained, and also I learned the knowledge. I learned about using softwares like Control, Civilo, Bluebeam, and the Team Binder. Learning and experiencing code of practicing code of ethics will help me to develop my professional career in the future. So at last it was a good experience with Winslow constructor that helped me build the confidence so that I can I can overcome any problems in this field in the future. So thank you. Any questions related to my presentation, I can reply that through my email. Thank you so much.